Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu. I'm bringing you guys the Sunday Evening Cup series. For anybody who's watching in the DotA TV, thank you for watching. I didn't really post any announcements about this, but hopefully we do have a viewer or two. Maybe my co-caster, who's typically my co-caster, will actually watch the DotA TV thing. Or if not, it doesn't matter. I'll be solo casting this week. If you guys haven't already picked up on that, my co-caster Dren, he is actually sick. He had a bad run-in with poison ivy, and it broke out everywhere. So he's decided to take the week off, so he can have the week off. He'll go ahead and rest, and hopefully we'll see him back next week, because he is the guy who streams the games when they do go live. I'm just the guy who posts them on YouTube, because my internet is toaster, and I can't help it. Sorry, guys. Actually, I could technically help it, but I don't feel like going through the proper channels to go fix internet. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping ourselves into the first match, which is the captain's mode, of course. It is the next level versus I forgot the other team. Hold on, I should know this. Come on, CulBlu, you make yourself look bad. I'll find them eventually. There you go. The next level versus Rainbros. Really? Okay, yeah, the next level versus Rainbros. I'll show you guys the brackets in a few seconds. I just have to get this OBS to cooperate really fast. Brackets, properties, and I want to see that one. Okay, and I think it should be good. There it is. There's a bracket. You guys can see all my tabs open as well. There's my YouTube page, just plugging that by myself. But anyway, or for myself. But anyway, really fast the brackets, because we do have some really interesting picks getting thrown out. We are right here in the second round. As you guys see, Team Unnerved, they do have a bye, and this is the second week that we're using the unofficial point system, which is awesome, because that means we'll probably see some more epic games happen at the end as opposed to happening at the very beginning, because that was no fun to see like the big epic matches happen at the beginning and then raffle stomp happen at the end. So we're working on a point system, just know that much. But we are right here, the next level versus Rainbros number 2. And let me go ahead and hide this away, because we don't need to say that. We need to actually talk about these picks and bans, because we see an OD pick, we see a Lone Druid pick. Lone Druid pick, you haven't seen him as oft, or as popularly picked, I guess that's what I'm looking for, ever since he got his nerf with his armlet. The armlet actually doing damage on the bear. But we do see an OD pick up, and OD ever since crap, I forgot the name. I forgot what team did it. Ever since whoever did it, ever since they started doing it, everybody said, "Oh, OD is actually really good mid." And it's very funny, because a lot of people were complaining before as OD just dies to anybody mid, but he's actually pretty powerful. He can take all your intelligence and make sure you have no mana to do anything. And it's pretty annoying. I've dealt with it once. It's not fun to be. It's not fun to be a Necrolite with no mana. Anyway, Darkseer is also picked up. Darkseer is solid, well, not necessarily solid mid, but he can be mid, he can be jungle. He's just flexible enough to be almost anything. So these guys aren't really giving away much outside of the OD pickup. Obviously, OD's going mid. I mean, where else would he go? He could go safe lane, but it's I haven't actually seen that work out too well. If he goes safe lane, he usually gets harassed at a lane, because there's too many people down there. But if he goes mid, he gets all the levels he wants. He gets all the free farm he wants, relatively speaking, and he can dominate his lane and dominate the runes. Moving on to the next levels pickups, they pick up a lifestealer, they pick up a Lone Druid. That's a really tanky front line that they got. Just a lifestealer in general, he's hard to kill. Lone Druid plus bear, that's hard to kill as well. So have those two be your play like share the carry role together. Lifestealer, if he gets farmed, he becomes a primary carry. Lone Druid, if he gets farmed first, he becomes a primary carry. Or best case scenario, they both get a lot of farm and they both just kill everything. Bear is not OP. Bear is annoying to deal with. Lifestealer, he's annoying to deal with, especially when you're trying to catch him. He can jump inside, infest something and run away. He can throw out his rage. That's a free BKB plus, because it gives him extra attack speed. It's just all around a lot of things that they're gonna have to deal with. And oh, by the way, these guys are strength heroes, so they do. Oh, by the way, these guys do get a crap ton of strength. So, relatively speaking, of course. Moving on to the bands, we see a Nyx Assassin band, we see a Woods band, we see a Rubik band on the side of Rainbros, I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is on the dire side. They do not want to see the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin, honestly, in my opinion, Nyx Assassin is probably one of the most, arguably the most annoying people to deal with as a support, because I play a lot of supports and I know how it feels when a Nyx Assassin suddenly shows up from middle of nowhere and just kills me with like 2 auto attacks and an impale and a mana burn. So yeah, it's pretty painful to deal with. He pretty much just makes supports' lives a living hell, and sometimes even carries, he makes their lives a living heck. So he's banned out. Also, Wisp can get out of control if once she hits level 6, she's ganking all around the map with whoever she paired up with. So they want to see that paired up with a Lifestealer or a Riki or a CK, sorry, classic stuff. And also Ruby Band is a Shadow Demon Band, solid supports all around. Moving on to the next levels band, they banned out the Bat Rider, they banned out the Tree and Protector, Gyrocup to Slark, Gyrocup to Tree and Protector for obvious reasons. Bat Rider, I mean, he's probably the most obvious of reasons. He's just OP in all sense of the word. Not to say OP, he's always relevant, he's always something you have to worry about, and his lasso, I mean, oh man, it's so annoying. Especially on top of a, well, just pretty much on top of anybody. Lasso on top of Weaver, that can be pretty annoying, especially if the lasso, or if he does enough damage to kill Weaver before he's able to pop his ulti. Or even that, Bat Rider can be pretty annoying versus a Lifestealer even. Lifestealer pops his rage to go in for a kill on somebody who's already open wounded, and then Bat Rider gets a lasso and pulls Lifestealer away. So, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of reasons why you ban out the Bat Rider. And oh, by the way, he has Sticky Napalm as well, which is probably one of the most powerful skills that don't actually do damage to you until somebody actually starts doing damage to you, of course. That's 70% slow. Nobody really pays attention to it until it actually happens. Nobody pays attention to turn rates, that is. Until you get a 70% slow in your turn rate. You're like, holy crap, I turned so freaking slow. And then you start paying attention to Earthshaker has a fast turn rate, but once you throw a Sticky Napalm on top of it, I mean, he's just slow all around. So as far as the picks on the next level, we see a Weaver pickup on their second pick, and or on the second pick phase, and we also see a Bane and Dragonite for Rainbros. The Bane is really nice versus Lifestealer. Pretty much Enfeeble plus his ulti plus his Nightmare are really good things to have versus Lone Druid. And also you can use your Nightmare on top of the Bear on Lone Druid's Bear to make sure he's not doing any auto attack damage, and also Enfeeble as well to make sure that Lone Druid has a hard time doing anything. So Bane, really nice support to have versus both Lifestealer and Lone Druid together. And Weaver as well. Nightmare on top of Weaver, that means his Sakuchis gets wasted, especially if they have a sentry. They place a sentry, Weaver pops a Sakuchi, Bane gets a Nightmare, and then Sakuchi's wasted and they can go in for a kill. Dragonite, a solid carry pickup. Probably not the most sought after carry in the world, but he is really darn tanky. It would be really nice to have him versus a Lone Druid and a Lifestealer, because Lifestealer wants to just punch you in the face as many times as possibly can, but DK gets all that armor coming from Dragon's Blood, which, as you guys can see right over here, Dragon's Blood can give him up to 12 armor, and that's on top of his base armor, which I don't know what it is, but it's probably something like maybe 5 at level 16, who knows. So that's a lot of armor that he gets, and pretty much for every single point in armor that you have, or every extra point in armor that you have, that's essentially 6% increase in your survivability from physical damage attacks. So 12 times 6, it's some number 72% increase in his resistance to physical damage. So that's a lot of damage that he's not going to be feeling from Lone Druid or Lifestealer. Moving on to the picks on the side of the next level, they picked up a Weaver, they picked up a Visage. Visage, really solid support. His Soul Assumption at level 1 can pretty much be a free Laguna Blade. As I've heard somebody say it before, I'm not too sure what the numbers on that are actually, but I mean, I do believe them, because Soul Assumption does hurt at early levels. And even late levels, it really hurts, especially when he spams that out every 5 seconds. Oh, sorry, 4 seconds. I'm off by 1 second. Forgive me, guys. Weaver just all around annoying to deal with. He can get out of control. Weaver is one of those heroes who he's more, I don't know, in my view, he's more reliant on snowballing than any other type of standard thing, like, you know, maybe have a rough start and then have a rough mid and then just do well at the end because he got a lot of free farm. Weaver really needs that decent early start and just to have a decent mid game, and if he has a mid game where he gets like 2 or 3 kills, then he's pretty much just going to be jumping all around and killing everybody. And we got a Magnus pickup. I'm so happy to see Magnus. I haven't seen Magnus in for freaking ever. I think they nerfed him enough to where nobody cares about him anymore, but he's pretty much made it through the bans, and that will be unheard of as of, what, 2 months ago. Magnus will be like the primary ban along with Bat Rider and along with Nyx Assassin. But Magnus has fallen out of grace. I think it has a lot to do with his reduced damage at level 1 on his reverse polarity, which they changed it from his damage at level 1 does 50 damage, and then it scales up by 75 every level. But 50 damage at level 1, the reason why that's a big issue, I think it was at 100 before, the reason why that's a big issue is because 50 damage, first of all, it gets reduced by magic resistance, which whenever it has innate built-in 25% magic resistance, when you do 50% or 50 damage to him, that's like an auto attack or something. So Magnus just basically gets a stun plus an auto attack for 2.25 seconds on a hero at level 1. And the reason why it's a big issue is because before you could try to nuke somebody down at level 1 as Magnus Like if Magnus is going against Weaver, he can pop his reverse polarity, get Weaver on the tower, and then do a lot of damage with reverse polarity, relatively speaking, and also just get a few auto attacks, get a shockwave, and get a skewer, and possibly get the kill. But with the damage reduction on top of that, I mean, it just makes it that much more difficult and is not as reliable as it was before. Of course, there are other things playing into that, like the metagame has kind of shifted a little bit. People want to have more powerful mids, but that's a vague statement because we always want more powerful mids. And I actually didn't talk about the bans. There was a Lina ban. There was also somebody else banned on the other side. Profit ban. Lina, really nice support, solid support to match up with a Visage, I guess. And also just a nice support to have all around. But the next level did decide to go for the Sand King. And there's also, oh sorry, Lino's banned out on this side. And also Prophet was banned out on the other side. So Prophet, he can just push everything around the map, and that's not fun. Especially when you have a farming lone druid and a farming lifestealer, and you have a Prophet pushing all your lanes, you can't deal with anything. So Prophet banned out, really wise ban out. They just want to basically make sure that these guys don't go for a push strat, which would be annoying as crap. Lone druid bear can push pretty well. So we're just waiting for these guys to pick out their people. We will be seeing Eric himself on that OD. And I'm gonna, like I always say, I'm gonna try my hardest to try to call these guys by their names as opposed to the characters, because it'll be more fun for you guys, in my personal opinion, if you guys can hear them called by their names, as opposed to me saying Visage does this and Visage does that and Bane does this and Bane does that. And oh no, pause time started. Holy crap, I'm the admin. Oh man, hold on, I gotta get my timer out. If Dram were here, he'd be giving me crap about this, but it's important. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Timer, start, reset, start. Alright, so basically how it works is these guys have 6 minutes of pause time per team, per series. Or, sorry, per match, not necessarily per series. But I mean, I guess when it's the best of one, it doesn't really matter, but... Well, with the final being the best of 3, I guess it does matter. But these guys do get 6 minutes of pause time per match. So just to make sure things go well, I'm starting the timer and let them know whenever they have updates. So 35 seconds out of 6 min for CulBlu. Where's CulBlu at? What team was he on? I should know this. Wait. Oh, somebody else who jumped in. He piggybacked. Who paused is a big question. OD paused. So Eric himself, that is on the dire side. And it's actually a minute. Low. Actually, it's over a minute now. Oh, okay, I'll wait. Okay, whatever. It's actually 1:30, but it took me forever to type that, so yeah. So wait, who did need the pause? Hold on. Okay, so that'll be 1 minute 40 seconds used. So 1:40 used. I just gotta ask, because the Radiant did have 1 AFK, but the Dire did pause, so it's kind of against their time. Was that 4 minutes, 15, no, 20. Four minutes, 20 seconds of pause time left for Dire. Who really cares? That's a lot of time, I know. So let me go and do introductions. Starting off with the Dire side, we have all the Darks here. Croven on him. Moving over to the Bane, we have we have Rayman on him. On this OD, we have Eric himself. Like I called before, he's actually going to be playing top in the safe lane. Pretty excited to see that, because I was just in the pick and ban phase. I was just saying how we won't be seeing him. You know, we definitely won't be seeing him play anything but mid. And I was obviously wrong. Who would have thought CulBlu wrong? You're right. Moving on to the Dragon Knight, we see Notor on that Dragon Knight. On this Magnus, we see double dash, or just double, I don't know, whichever one we want to call it. I'm actually trying to bring up last hits and denies. There we go. Last hits and denies over here. On this Bane, we see Rayman 000, and that bear is going to stand still for a few seconds. And I think that was pretty much around. Nope, Magnus. I missed Magnus. On this Magnus, nope, Magnus is double. I scribbled all on the map. I don't know what it's doing. It's so confusing. Oh yeah, okay. That pretty much rounds out the whole entire dire side, which is the Rainbros. Moving over to the next level, starting up on this Weaver, we see Swordman for him. On this mid, we see I'm a Dodger, or I'm a Dogger Dodger. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, but we see him on that lone druid. Definitely go check him out on his Twitch page, or not Twitch page, Twitter page, whatever link that is. Definitely go check him out there. I do try to give as much screen time as possible to the guys who do have @ the symbols, because they are the ones who make the game possible, and that's just my shameless plug for my videos. Moving over to the Sand King, we see V_177. So on that Sand King, and on this Visage, we see X570 on that Visage, and that pretty much rounds up. Nope. This one, Lifestealer, save our mind on that Lifestealer, and he's finally decided to go for a point of open wounds. He was just holding to that early skill point, and that pretty much rounds up the whole entire callouts. So meanwhile, what do we see happening? We see a little bit of aggression happening mid. These we got a rotation coming out from these guys. We have Swordman coming mid on that Weaver versus Notor. So it'll be a DK versus a Weaver mid. On this bottom lane, we have a tri-lane in the form of Sand King, Visage, and Lifestealer going against a solo. I can't move my mouse. There we go. Solo Magnus on that double. Oh, I remember what it was. Yeah, it's bottle nerf. The bottle nerf as well. That's another thing that put Magnus out of. Pulled Magnus from grace. Anyway, OD doing a really good job trying to block these creeps, trying to keep these creeps from getting pulled. But Lone Druid is going to be persistent and actually get his creeps, or get the bear to pull the creeps. And OD's desperately trying to deny that creep. I don't think he'll be able to get it. As far as the top lane goes, we see a dual lane Bane OD versus a suicide solo lane Lone Druid, because these guys did definitely rotate. So we will be seeing that happen. We will be seeing that actually go on. The Lone Druid is going to be having a lot of fun with no mana. Because why does Lone Druid need mana? All he needs mana for is to summon his bear, and that's it. And also to pop his ulti. But his ulti costs 25 mana, so it shouldn't be that bad. Should it? It could be. I've seen a Faceless Void have 7 mana before. Versus an OD. Like, that was his max mana pool. OD took all of his intelligence. Meanwhile, mid, Notor on that DK, he already has his bottle up. He did go for a bottle rush type build. He went for 1 Tango and 3 Iron Branches. That is the most safest build you can go for as far as rushing for bottles. Anything else is risky in my personal opinion, because it doesn't give you stats, it doesn't give you regen. But this definitely gives you stats and regen. So DK is going to feel pretty content going to his mid lane versus Swordman, who's on that Weaver. Notor is going to have a lot of fun time here, because he's actually doing a really good job controlling the runes. He has an Observer Ward up on the top. I think I was just barely able to see that rune, so he knows where the rune's coming from, and he probably has a support pinging out for him where the rune's going to be coming from. Meanwhile, Swordman is taking a lot of harassment coming from DK with just that Breathe Fire. That is Breathe Fire level 2, and oh my gosh, they changed the pictures. This is cool. I like these pictures better. They look cooler. But Notor can be as aggressive as he wants to be. He has free regen in the form of HP, of course, so he can actually take a few aggro shots coming from the creep wave. And he's going to have a lot of fun there. Moving on down bottom, we have Salve on that Lifestealer. Just have a little bit of fun trying to get a farm of his own. Magus probably not having the best of times, if I can check. Yes, he's not having the best of times. The support coming out from both X and V. X is on the Visage and V is on the Sand King, but the support coming up from this pretty much making his life a living heck. Actually, he might be in a lot of trouble. Here comes a Grave Shield coming up from Visage, so X is going to throw out Visage and doubles in a lot of trouble. Sand King will follow up with a stun, and there's open wounds and a Rage thrown out by Lifestealer. Double trying to get away, but these guys trying to get the body block. Visage, does he have Soul Assumption? If only he was level 2. If only he was level 2. If Visage was level 2. If X was level 2 right now, actually he will be going out. First Blood does go to double, and that was a pretty funny turn of events, but if X would have waited a few more seconds to get level 2, then he would have definitely got that kill, because Soul Assumption would have eaten Magnus alive. No questions about it, but there was no Soul Assumption, so there was a prompt death for the Visage. Meanwhile, Notor picking up his second rune of the match. Feeling pretty happy about himself. I don't know where the first rune went, but that is the second one if I'm not mistaken. And OD just trying to do a little bit of poke damage to his bear. Actually, his Arcane Orb actually does a lot of damage to the bear. It does extra damage to both summons and illusions, if I'm not mistaken. Arcane Orb does bonus damage to summoned illusions. Oh, cool. See, I was totally right. And the bonus damage it does is 100. So once he gets a point of his Arcane Orb, he'll actually be able to do a lot of damage. But he has to be careful about not getting in too early, because a lot of times you see ODs pick up the Essence Aura first, and the reason for that is because the Essence Aura has a chance to proc with 40% at level 4. Or said they max it out first, and you want to have that region come up every 40%. So that's pretty much just over every. What's on? Just under every other auto attack. There you go. So every third auto attack. I don't know. Every third auto attack, you should get some regen from it, which is actually really nice to have, especially when your Arcane Orb costs 100 entire mana. It's crazy. Meanwhile, we see items getting picked up all around the map. We see Lifesteal with Phase Boost, and taking a look at the rest of the items, you see Weaver has the Ring of Basilius, not too big of an item for him to have. Soul Ring is up on Darkseer, that's a big item. And Chunk of Boots up on OD, so he's going for a safer type of OD. If he goes for the Mechanism, I will say it's officially the safest type of OD that he can possibly go for, as opposed to just going straight up Glass Cannon, which would involve him just building intelligence and trying to kill everything before it kills him. Meanwhile, we got a rotation coming mid. We got X on that Visage trying to go for the Grave Shield on top of Dragonite, but Dragonite moves so darn fast with those brown boots. X doesn't have any boots of his own, and V is not it. Well, he heals behind him a little bit, but I think DK still moves a little bit faster than that Sand King. Meanwhile, on top we see Eric himself trying to come up to the Lone Druid to do a little bit more damage. He has his ulti. There's the ulti getting thrown out, but not enough damage. You must construct additional pylons. Exactly what he just said. But here comes Sand King from the middle of nowhere. Beautiful Astral Imprisonment thrown out by OD, so he dodged it completely. And there's a Grave Shield coming up from Visage, but these guys can't continue their aggression. Actually, no, they can. There's a Soul Assumption up on Visage. He is level 2, and Bane looks like his life will be ending pretty darn soon. Just not enough damage. A few more auto attacks, and Lone Druid able to pick up that kill. The best possible scenario for the next level. Basically, Dodger is able to survive the DK. Oh, hold on, we got the aggression happening around the side. We got Notar on that DK rotating up top. He's trying to go for the kill on top of his Lone Druid. Lone Druid, he will be able to block himself in, but I don't think he has enough mana for any TPs or anything. He actually doesn't have a TP right now. If only he had a TP. The bear is getting a whole bunch of tangles, but it's not enough of tangles. Meanwhile, Visage, X on that Visage is trying to run away. He's out of mana for Soul Assumption, so he can't pop anything. And here comes Swordman from on that Weaver, just from the middle of nowhere, trying to make sure trying to see if he can pick up a kill. Pops himself Illusion Room, going for the OD. OD might be a little bit of trouble. Astral Imprisonment himself, so he makes sure he can stay alive. His Chunk of Boots are broken, and Weaver is going to should be able to finish off with just a few more attacks. There's a Gemini attack, and there's the attack to fall. I'm sorry, there's OD to fall. And yeah, a lot going back and forth. And like I was saying before, that's probably the best case scenario initially, until DK showed up and Weaver showed up. But that was probably the best case scenario for the Radiant. Actually, no. The whole entire thing was the best case scenario for Radiant. The only thing that went bad was that they lost the Lone Druid. But Lone Druid was able to not only survive the damage coming up from OD, because he doesn't have enough intelligence to actually get a lot of kills on top of him. If you look at the intelligence, OD's intelligence is 48 versus Lone Druid's 18. Not a lot, but enough to keep him alive. That's all that matters. And he was able to survive all that damage, and then OD got caught out from the rotating Visage and the rotating Sand King, X and V respectively. And they were able to turn it around and get a kill. I didn't see who they got a kill on, but they got a kill on top of Bane, and the kill did go to Lone Druid. So that means more gold for him to get whatever he wants, his fancy items. But then the DK rotated, and I kind of messed things up a little bit. The DK did stay alive, if I'm not mistaken, and OD went down. I don't know. I'm losing track of what else going on. See, this is why I need co-caster guys, because co-casters makes life easy. They can think about things that I'm not thinking about. We got D-Roar getting done by Rayman. Oh my gosh, double goes down bottom to Save, and Save, he might actually, nope, he's not taking enough damage. The tower's not able to attack fast enough, and he's going to TP out because he doesn't want any rotation coming in from the Dire. Meanwhile, Notar on that Dragonite, just doing a little bit of damage to Dodger, and oh my gosh, V in the best possible spot, Rayman in the worst possible spot. DK throws out a stun on top of Bear to make sure Bear can't do anything, and there's a Soul Assumption to fly, boom, goes to Dynamite, and Rayman goes down. Meanwhile, DK on that Dragonite, Notar on that Dragonite, just trying to run away, use those bottle charges so he can get ready to have mana to turn around and do some burst damage to somebody. But I don't think he'd be able to find anything. Get a little bit of poison damage, just a little bit of harassment on top of that Bear. And there's a stun thrown on top of Bear. Bear is under the tower. It's going to take quite a bit of damage, and actually he's going to use it to body block instead. I think Lone Druid has a resummon. No, he doesn't have a resummon. He needs to be very careful about that Bear. He's going to be going down around the corner. Holy crap. Lone Druid, you done goofed. You done goofed, Lone Druid. You done goofed. And Dodger goes down mid. If you take a quick look at the levels, jeez, I can't even speak anymore. We see that essentially all the supports are not level 6 just yet. which is to be expected. I mean, Bane has been doing a little bit of rotation, but we had a lot of rotation coming out from Visage and Sand King, which is actually a nasty rotating duo. We got Bane throwing a Nightmare on top of Weaver. It's essentially what plays down right here. This is the thing I was talking about before, guys. Bane gets his brain sap on top of Weaver, and Weaver does go down to the OD. OD pops his ulti, pops an extra auto attack just for good measure, and he is going to be going for a Mechanism himself. Like I said, the safest possible OD that you can go for. Mechanism makes you deceptively survivable. It gives you some really nice stats for what it costs. It gives you some really nice burst heal, and also gives you some really nice armor, which are all things that he needs versus a lifestealer and a lone druid. Specifically a lifestealer, because lifestealer just wants to do more damage, and I think his feast is reduced by... No, never mind. His feast isn't. Yeah, his feast is not reduced by your armor. But his auto attacks are, which is more important. So he has a lot of armor. And here's Weaver coming from in the nowhere. OD turns around, throws out the Astral Imprisonment. He'll be able to make it live. Sand King trying to follow the stun. Oh my gosh, X comes from in the nowhere, slaps him in the face, catches him off guard. There's a V from downtown, and Eric himself might be going down. Swordman, will he be able to get the last hit? No. X does pick up the last hit for himself, gets some very needed levels. And here's a Darkseer just surging around, just trying to be a nuisance. He might want to go home. He's gonna go ahead and go home. So Kroven walking on home while he can. Meanwhile, we got pings going on down bottom. I think Double wants to go in for a kill. He has reverse polarity, which will be able to hold down lifesteal. He also has support coming from the Bane, so it'll probably be a Bane ulti into all the damage from Magnus, and then a reverse polarity at the very end just to make sure lifesteal can't do anything. There's an ulti coming from from Magnus, but nope, it's not fast enough. Lifesteal jumps in and out, jumps in a creep, jumps out of the creep, and now these guys are in trouble. A little bit mistimed on top of everything, and here comes X from the middle of nowhere. Salve ourselves, we'll be able to finish him off. Nope, Nightmare coming up from Bane. Holy crap, beautiful Nightmare. Nightmare of the night, guys. Rayman props to you for that beautiful Nightmare. Able to stop the lifesteal at the very moment his rage ended, and then Visage wasn't able to get his soul suction off. So this pretty much ended all in the wash. 2 ultis were used to try to kill the lifesteal. Lifesteal stayed alive because he had that had his infest, and that just shows you. This goes back to my point I was saying before. Lone Druid and lifesteal, they're pretty much tanky frontline people, and I really dislike using the word tank, but I mean, that's what they are. They have a lot of HP, relatively speaking, and they're really survivable, especially Lifestealer. So Lifestealer just proved my point right there. He was able to survive a Bane ulti, survive a reverse polarity from Magnus, and a skewer, and then he still stayed alive, and of course, with the help of Visage, he stayed alive. Actually, no, I take that back. Visage didn't really have to show up. Visage just made these guys run away a little bit faster. We got the open stone on top of Magnus. Magnus does skewer away to make sure he stays alive. And we got Visage, not enough soul assumption charges, not enough damage. And he's going to take a few tower shots. Meanwhile, on top, we got OD Eric himself chasing at Weaver. And so is Rayman. Rayman wishes he had his ulti, but he doesn't have it for another 16 seconds. That's a very sad Bane right there. And take a look at the items, because I see drum up on DK. That means we're getting close to the mid game. Mechanism almost finished up on that OD, which is Eric himself. Nothing else too big around the map. Magnus goes down bottom. Yeah, 3 people rotated for a kill down bottom of Magnus. Lifesteal later pick up the last hit on top of that. Sorry I totally missed that one, guys, but I have been catching most of them though. Don't say that much. Meanwhile, up top, we got 3 on the side of the Dire, just trying to farm up. Eric himself, the primary farmer. Rayman just wants level, so he's going to hang out on the side. And actually, I think these guys might be baiting. We got a ping coming out from Swordman saying that, hey guys, we can go for a kill on top of his OD. He wants to go for the kill, but there's no TPs coming in just yet. Or maybe he's saying, hey, this guy's going to be attacking the tower. And there's a support coming out from the Bane. And will there be a follow-up from Bane? Will it be fast enough is a big question. We were not able to Sakuchi out because he did pop Sakuchi before he got put inside the Astral Imprisonment. Actually, Rayman might be in a little bit of trouble. He will be getting surged away from Korn on that Darkseer, or Kroven on that Darkseer. And will he be able to make it alive is a big question. Sand King does have another Bro Strike in 1 second. That will be a Bro Strike to follow. But it does miss completely. Holy crap. Weaver might be able to do enough damage. Oh my gosh, Bane. Rayman on that Bane. Able to turn the fight around, get an ulti on top of Weaver, who's in range of the tower, and this is the Astral Imprisonment on top of Sand King. Sand King's out of mana. Ulti coming up from OD to follow, and oh man. X on the other side in the worst place possible. He gets Astral Imprisonment once again, and he'll be going down. There's no way for him to make it alive. Meanwhile, mana boots are purchased up on top of the Magnus, and things are honestly looking very even on both sides. We seen big team fights happen both ways, and actually, hold on, this is Lone Druid going down on top. Nope, that's Visage Familiars. We've been seeing things go both ways. We've seen where the next level have had a really good start, and we've also seen where I'm sorry, not a really good start, really good engagement, made the best out of a bad situation, and we've also seen where Rainbros were able to make the best out of a bad situation, or a potentially bad situation. Like the stuff down bottom, the next level we're able to run away from that, keep lifesteal alive, but then the stuff up top happens where OD shows up from or Bane, sorry, Weaver, Swordman on that Weaver trying to go and get the kill on top of Bane, but Bane able to turn around, get the ulti off, and oh man, just stuff happening. There you go, stuff is happening. Polarity ensues, as my coworker would say. So we got, besides the familiar, he's still trying to navigate his way outside of the Radiant Wild. He can't find his way back home just yet. I think he's looking for a courier, and he might be able to find it, but the courier did make it out fast enough. And Darkseer will be able to find himself, Darkseer. Will be able to find himself a Darkseer. He needs to go ahead and pop that stun. The stun will make it in time. And Darkseer goes and surges away. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Meanwhile, we got both teams posturing pretty darn aggressively. Well, one side more so aggressively than the other. Weaver's here. He has the support of both X and V. So Swordman really brave. He's ready to jump in. Power Charge purchased by Eric himself. Mechanism purchased by him as well. Meanwhile, down bottom, we get these guys pinging the tower. They want to go ahead and go for the bottom tower. DK has illusion rune, pops his ulti. He wants to go for the kill on top of that tower. And DK, oh wait, hold on. Before I say all that, we got Besides in a little bit of trouble. X is getting caught up a little bit. He got Astral Imprisonment. Throws out the Grave Shield. This is a sleep nightmare coming up from Bane. Bane not able to do anything. Oh, he's not doing anything. There, he turns around, uses ulti on top of the Besides, and Besides will be going down. But I think Bane will lose his life. There's a smoke, the seat pops, and oh my gosh, Bane's still alive. There you go. He dies to a beetle. Of all things to die by, he dies to a beetle, and OD able to make it out alive. So Eric himself able to make it out alive. His ulti will be off cooldown another 21 seconds, so he probably would have preferred that fight to happen 21 seconds from now. Meanwhile, Kroven on that Darkseer trying to hunt down a familiar. Just one more attack is all he need. Eric himself coming back in for the fight. He will be able to find himself Swordman, who's in a lot of trouble. He has no mana. He has a bottle though, so he can't pop it to try to get the charges. And OD, will he be able to get the kill? He needs 2 more seconds. He will not be able to find it. He turns around and kills the familiar instead. If he would have kept pursuing, he might have been able to find it, but because Weaver had no mana for Sakuchi. He had to use both his bottle charges just for 2 Sakuchis. And you can see his mana right now is really bad. He lost 10 intelligence, so 20 intelligence total. And that's really painful for Weaver because Weaver really needs his mana to pop the Sakuchi. If Weaver can't Sakuchi, he's going to die. And he only has enough mana for, what, 3 Sakuchis? Which is not good at all. Meanwhile, DK doing a really good job controlling his runes. I think he's gotten essentially every single rune that has popped up, give or take 1 or 2. If you look at the items real fast, you see Lifesteal trying to build his armlet. He has his Helmet of Dominator built up already. Or sorry, not Helmet of Dominator. Helmet of Iron Will. Jeez, they need to change the name of those. They keep changing the name of Hellbear Smasher. I'm just saying. It used to be called an Ursa Warrior, now it's a Hellbear Smasher and a Hellcat thing. I don't know. Let's see if I can find one. So I can prove to you guys that Valve keeps changing names of things, but they won't change the names of things that need to be changed names of. I know, right? That made a lot of sense, didn't it? Just a little self-commentary, that's what it was. Nope, I can't find one. I can't find a Hellbear Smasher. I'm sad. Besides, his familiars will be able to scout out an OD, and OD might be able to pick off both of them. Just one auto attack does quite a significant amount of damage on just one familiar, who only has 300 HP. That's a lot of damage, and that's pure damage as well, if I'm not mistaken. Lifesteal jumps inside of something. I heard it. Where is he? Lifesteal jumps inside of a Weaver, so Swordman has a wild, whatever Lifesteal's name is, inside of him. Rayman will be getting caught out. He pops his dust, and around the corner, hits a Lifesteal jumping up from the middle of nowhere. These guys are going for the kill. Save just popping his rage, dodging all the damage coming out from OD. OD will be going down on our backside. Actually, no, he actually improves himself. Meanwhile, Weaver about to be going down. He pops his ulti. Beautiful timing. Sand King pops his ulti as well, getting all the waves, all pulses off on top of everybody. Magnus pops his reverse parade. I think he only caught 2 inside of it. He does survive. Besides Familiar, almost able to kill him, and that pretty much ended horribly for the Radiant. This TP support coming in from both DK and also Magnus was too fast, too much. Actually, I think DK was there to begin with, but the TP support coming in, nonetheless, was what turned that fight, and this will be a free tower for these guys. A free tower for the Troubles. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Lone Druid still trying to farm his big items. I think he's going for the classic Lone Druid Bear, which is Maelstrom and attack speed. Just pretty much attack speed. Maelstrom for the Bear, AC for the Lone Druid, and a Heart that's eventually for the Lone Druid, so he can just be survivable, but the Bear is just there for entangles and damage. I'm actually surprised we don't see phase boost yet on the Bear, but I think he wants that Maelstrom first so he can keep pushing out those lanes. And that's 2 towers going down. Holy crap, I didn't realize that. So 2 towers going down, pretty darn easy, pretty free stuff for them. Magnus is getting that empowered to both DK and OD, which is making them hit a lot harder. It won't necessarily give OD the cleave, but it does make him hit a lot harder. Meanwhile, we have X on that Visage, and probably the worst possible spot he can possibly be in. I don't know how many times I can say possibly. Meanwhile, and then Rayman is on his tail. He did take a wrong turn, so he wasn't able to find him just yet, but he will be able to intercept this curry if he does stay long enough. We will see an engagement happen right here. X getting caught out. Bane to throw out the brain sap and a nightmare. There we go. The nightmare, not the nightmare. The ulti coming out from Bane on top of X. X does go down. V almost saved the life of Visage, but he did stun the wrong person. Nightmare used and canceled by Bane, and there's a beautiful kill coming out from Notar on top of that Sand King. So V not feeling pretty happy. He's on level 7. As you guys can see, the supports are really behind on both sides, but that's to be expected. The roaming supports on Visage and Sand King are actually doing a decent job keeping up the levels with the Bane, who has been staying on lane and supporting. Meanwhile, Darkseid, who could technically be considered the other support, he's doing really well. He's building up a pipe of insight, and actually it's up right now, so he's going to have that up. That's going to be detrimental to the damage coming out, the damage output of Visage, because his damage is all about soul assumption, in my personal opinion. And if his soul assumption damage isn't doing anything, he's not really useful to his team, except for a few grave kills and a stun here or there. You know, Roshan will be going down. All that damage. Finally, it goes down. Visage pops a few familiars just to scout out things around the corner. We got somebody jumping in. Who's that? Lone Druid Bear jumping in. It will be going down. But Druid does have a resummon, so he can't use it. There we go. He will use it. We might see a team fight happen here. We got the whole entire dire side just marching into the Rainbow Bros. Or just saying, hey bro, let's go kill stuff. Maga's missing a skewer. Very funny type stuff going on. And we got a Visage going down around the corner. X not really all that farm, so it's to be expected. But still, even though supports do die easily, and we all know they're going to die if they get caught out like that. That's the one thing that you don't want to happen, especially not now, when you have OD who has a decent amount of farm, DK who has a BKB already, OD he has a mechanism, he also has, is he building a sheep stick? Yeah, he's building a sheep stick. Darkseid has his pipe of insight, which he doesn't have yet, which I think might be a problem. He might need that for Visage. He tries to throw out soul assumption charges, or Sand King tries to pop his ulti. Take a look at the items real fast. We can see that the entire dire side are pretty rich down here, and the entire radiant side are relatively poor. Lifestealer does have an armlet, which is the biggest item that we see on the dire side, but that's really about it. If we take a look at the net worth, we can see. Hold on. Take a look at the net worth of all the players. I think Lifestealer will probably be the highest representative of his team. That's mainly because he's been farming a lot. But he has been involved in a few fights, and he has gotten picked off a few times. Actually, no, I'll take it back. He hasn't gotten picked off at all. He's just been farming.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And radiant structures are fortified for the creeps. Okay. Seems legit. Double damage OD. Just to add insult to injury, he goes in and buys himself a... Nope, he doesn't have enough gold just yet. Wait, what did he buy? He bought a Hyperstone. No. Yeah, he bought a TP scroll. So Eric himself bought himself a TP scroll just to make sure he can get out of these fights, this next big fight that happens. Because if he does get caught out, he's going to pretty much be going down. Even though he does have a mechanism, which, oh my gosh, here comes a V getting caught out. He's just barely able to survive. Holy crap. Holy jukes, Batman. He just literally stays still. The skewer did miss just barely. Lifesteal is inside of Swordman. Swordman will be popping, or will be going on top of Magus. Magus does go down around the corner. Oh, he should be going down around the corner. Swordman trying to finish well. Meanwhile, fight happening around the backside. We got Lone Druid about to be going down. DK and OD and Darkseid just doing all the damage on the wall. Lone Druid pops his bear back just to try to get these guys to shoot away, but they will not shoot away. Meanwhile, Rayman on that Bane is trying to get his life back in order and trying to run away, but Weaver chasing him like Weaver does. But finally, Eric himself does save the life of Rayman with the Astral Imprisonment. And we got the tower going down, so that's pretty much all the outer towers except for the bottom tower left, or down, for the Radiant. And they need to be very careful about the next moves, because pretty much if they lose another fight, they're going to probably lose racks or two. And if they lose 2 racks, they're probably going to lose the game, because DK has a lot of farm. He almost has an AC, and we're only 25 minutes into the game. We have OD. He almost has a sheep stick. Actually, does he have a sheep stick right now? He has his mystic staff, so he's a little bit ways away from the sheep stick. Oh, never mind. That's a sheep stick right there.
Bottom tower has fallen.
That's a sheep stick, guys. All he needs now is 875 gold, and he definitely has more than that. It's actually gonna take a little bit more farm around the corner. It would be mud golems, wouldn't it? Effing mud golems. So other big items that I completely neglected to talk about were the Blink Dagger upon Magnus. That has definitely been helping out in these engagements. He's been initiating all these fights pretty darn effectively. Of course, he missed a few skewers here and there. We caught one of those instances. But he does have a Blink Dagger, which is huge when those team fights break out. Refresher would probably be his next big item to get. He does need some regen in between that, though. Meanwhile, oh man, home, we see engagement about to be happening. The Dire do have vision of this. They do have vision of this. And we got Sand King popping himself a Sandstorm, trying to get away. And oh my gosh, he gets turned to a sheep. He will be going down. A lot of damage getting down. Essentially 3-shotted by everybody else. But he almost made it out. I think he would have been able to survive if he just kept the Sandstorm going. Magnus would have been able to blink into position, but it wasn't fast enough. Meanwhile, Lifesteal trying to do what he can to survive this fight. Magnus throws out his ulti, Bane throws out the ulti on top of Lifesteal, make sure he's settled down. He can't do anything. Darkseid throws out his wall, everybody's standing inside of it. But not enough. Not enough, definitely not enough. DK is level 16, holy crap, when did that happen? Level 17. And everybody's dying around the corner. People are dying everywhere, guys. That's all I can say about this. That's all I can say about this.
Dire's courier has been killed. Even
Even the couriers are dying. That's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, Lone Druid only has a Maelstrom up on that bear, and that's pretty much the biggest item that he has. Probably not too happy about that. OD able to dodge a lot of damage coming off for Lifesteal with the Astral Imprisonment. Dragon Knight and Lifesteal is going to have a man fight. Lone Druid trying to get involved in that man fight too. Beautiful vacuum coming out from Darkseer, and the Breathe Fire from Dragon Knight to follow as well. A lot of damage getting done in a giant AoE for no apparent reason. Crazy stuff going on, guys. Crazy stuff going on. We got a DC coming up from Lifesteal. I think these guys are tapping out. I'm not too sure. There you go. GG well played, thrown out by Lone Druid. GG well played, thrown out all around. And yeah, that was GG well played, definitely. A lot of cool things happened. Of course, my favorite thing that happened was that Bane survivability up top, or Bane surviving up top. I really don't know what I'm talking about anymore, guys. Sand King popped his ulti, just a celebratory ulti, trying to do what he can to kill somebody. Dragon Knight says, I'm not going to have any of that. Pops his BKB, gets a kill on top of X on that Visage. And that ends all of that. So let's go and take a look at the goal graph, which I totally didn't look at this entire game. It was never in favor of the rating. Well, it was in favor of the rating at the very beginning, but it wasn't enough. Ooh, what's this? Fantasy points.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
Anyway, that's a new feature. Alright. So fantasy points, that's what they're called. Looking at the XP graph pretty much shows the same picture that the goal graph goes. Rainbros, I think I'm saying that right. Rainbros definitely had a nice little hole in this, and that DK Darkseid combination is a pretty cute thing. I have to go try it out myself. But anyway, yes, GG indeed. And my name is CulBlu. I brought you guys a Sunday Evening Cup series. This is round number 1. This is one of the matches in that round. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the brackets once again so you guys can see that and my very fancy high production value. Look at that. Hey, look, Shiver's there. Hi, Shiver. Anyway, I definitely do check out Shiver's live Twitch page every once in a while. But there we go. Rainbow Bros are the winners. So let me go ahead and put the points inside of that. Next level, they are out. Rainbow Bros do win, and they move on to the next round. They will be facing Unnerve in the next round. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at the reports for the next round because I am the admin, so I need to go be doing that. And I'm gonna cut the cast there. So I hope you guys enjoy the cast. And then let me go ahead and hide this so I can make sure I can do my normal notes and stuff. And I'll see you guys whenever.